Hello everyone. Welcome to my presentation. I hope you're all keeping well. My name is Julie and I manage the Health and Wellbeing team at the University of Bedfordshire. I'm also one of the counsellors. During the crisis, it's been business as usual at the University of Bedfordshire when it comes to supporting students. We understood how important it was to provide ongoing support. We also recognise the challenges of the new remote working and that may present difficulties for students that hadn't existed before, and also recognise that it may increase the anxiety of students for students who already had ongoing difficulties. We contacted students who were receiving support to let them know we were still working to support them, and we've used our website, the My Beds app, and a student newsletter, which we've called the Lockdown Lowdown, to keep all students informed about how we're working to keep them supported. We've also developed some self-help materials to support students to navigate the new challenges from working from home and studying remotely. We'll be continuing to support our students over the summer break and welcome new students who'll be coming to the university in the autumn. We've had some brilliant feedback from students about those emails that we sent out, and this is to just give you an indication of what students felt about the support that we were offering. Thank you so much for getting in touch. I didn't expect to hear from you so quickly. Thank you so much for the email. It couldn't have come at a better time, as I had been worrying. Thanks for emailing me. I'm doing fine, but I'll email you if there's anything that I need to speak to you about. And I think the best of all, which probably sums up how a lot of students were feeling at the time, thanks for your email. It's lovely to hear from you. I'm actually feeling a little overwhelmed. And I think it wasn't just students who were feeling overwhelmed. I think we were feeling a little bit like that too. Anyway, so what kind of support can you expect when you go to university? Well, some of you may need no support at all. You'll be happy, healthy, hardworking, and get on with things, and you won't run into any difficulties. But for some of you, you may need lots. And who knows, you may need no support at the beginning of your course, but as the course progresses, you may need more. Who knows? Things are always changing. At whatever university you're planning to go to, be sure to find out who can help you with what. I think that's really important. Look at the website. It will tell you about their support teams and how to contact them. If you know what's provided, that will give you the confidence to seek support. It's always better to ask for support sooner rather than later. Small concerns can become big problems if they're not addressed. The people who work in the professional services and support teams in universities have seen it all, and they're very experienced at supporting students with a wide range of concerns. So don't worry if you think it's something that we can't look at or we can't help you with. The most important thing is to seek help, and then we'll work with you to find out the best solution going forward. We're expecting that the current crisis will throw up all kinds of new challenges for students and for us as well, because we're new to this, the same as everyone else. Something new presents itself every year, and I know for one that I'm always learning and always learning from the new students that we see in our services every year. All universities are broadly similar in what they offer to students in terms of personal support. What I'm going to do is describe to you a little bit around the services of the University of Bedfordshire. But as I say, other universities will be broadly similar, but make sure you contact the university that you're going to and find out what they provide. So I'd like you to tell you a little bit more about the teams that we have at the University of Bedfordshire and how they work to support students. I think the one important thing to say at the outset is all of these services are confidential. So we won't tell anybody about your difficulties unless you want us to. And that includes staff, academic staff, and your parents as well. So when you're at university, you're considered to be an adult learner, which is very different from at school, where your parents may have been very much involved in any support that you may have had. But we will only involve third parties, i.e. other people, if you want us to. So all the services I'm going to describe are confidential services. And so it's between you and them unless you want it otherwise. So at the University of Bedfordshire, we have something called the Student Engagement Team. So when you're at university, sometimes things don't go well, or they don't go as expected. And this is the team at the University of Bedfordshire who can help you work through what options that you may have in terms of going forward. And what they also do is to signpost you to other teams. So if they believe you may benefit from counselling, they may suggest that. If they believe that you may benefit from support from the disability team, they will refer you to that. So they're very much a generic support team that can help you decide maybe what to do going forward, what your options are, and where else you can go for help. As I say, they're a confidential service. Sometimes students decide that they need to interrupt their studies because they've been unwell or their personal circumstances change. So at the University of Bedfordshire, that's what that team do as well. They help support you to interrupt and make sure that you get the best advice. And also they're the team that you would go to if you were thinking of leaving. Hopefully that won't happen, but you know, they're there if you need that kind of support. Also at our university, we have something called the Mitigation Team. Now, again, that's quite different from a lot of other universities. In other universities, mitigation, i.e. applications for extensions to deadlines, may be handled by your department. At the university, we manage those centrally, and that is done by the Mitigation Team. So that's for students who are finding difficulty meeting deadlines and may need to have an extension for their work. Always important that you check at the university you're going to find out what their process is, because as I say, what we do is slightly different to other universities, and you need to make sure that you're doing what's appropriate to that university. Part of the team that I manage, the Health and Wellbeing team, we provide support for students who have disabilities or specific learning difficulties. Now, some of you may already be having this type of support at school, and I think it's very important, if you are, to make sure that you contact that particular service at the university that you're going to. We believe it's really important for you to get your support in place before you start at the university. So it's almost seamless. So there's not a delay, there's not a wait before your support is put in place. And I think that will be helpful for you, and it will give you confidence. Like a lot of universities, we email our offer holders and offer them our support. We ask them to register with our service so that we can begin to put the support in place for them. We can begin that process. What we then do with that information is we put together a learning support plan, which is about telling academic staff how they can best support you. So that information is communicated to academic staff only if you give permission, of course. We can't do anything like that without your permission. And I think the other important thing is, don't forget to apply for disabled student allowances. These are awards that are made for students who have additional learning support needs. They're not means tested, they're based on your individual needs. And it's important that you apply for them at the same time that you apply for your student loan, because like the student loan process, this can take a while. And again, if you're given an award of equipment or software, you really need that to be in place before you start your course. So if you remember one thing today, that's remember to apply for disabled student allowances if you have those additional support needs. The other part of my team is student counselling. This is support more for sort of personal, emotional difficulties that may arise while you're at university. Again, it's a very safe, a very confidential environment in which you can talk to someone about the difficulties you're experiencing and maybe look at ways forward, ways to manage those difficulties so that you can be successful in your studies. We also have a wellbeing advisor, mental health specialist, who support students who have diagnosed mental health difficulties and face sort of slightly different kinds of challenges when studying in university. Again, a lot of students with long-term mental health difficulties are eligible for disabled student allowances. I know the word disabled student allowances don't really tell you exactly what kind of support that provides, but go on the SFE website and have a look, because it might actually meet your needs to apply for disabled student allowances as well. What we're finding from a lot of research that's been conducted about the current crisis is that a lot of young people in the sort of 18 to 25-year-old age bracket are experiencing lots of difficulties with their mental well-being. We recognise that this may be ongoing difficulties despite the easing in the lockdown. And what we're doing at our university is preparing for that. So we will be putting in a programme of additional support for students, not just who have diagnosed mental health difficulties, but whose mental health may have suffered a little bit during the crisis. So we are thinking ahead, like lots of other universities. We're not the only ones. So I think you can be assured that universities are thinking about the impact of the current crisis and how it may affect students going forward. Another team that we have at the university is student money advice, and I think that's really self-explanatory. It helps students who are getting into hardship, who are finding supporting themselves financially is very, very difficult. And again, a lot of universities recognizing that a lot more students are going to be unable to get part-time work as the impact on the economy has been significant. So again, like a lot of universities, there will be more money available to support students who are in financial hardship. They also provide advice about managing your money, ways of budgeting. Not everyone who comes to university for the first time can manage their money in a, shall we say, a positive way. And we've all had stories of students blowing their first check on very sophisticated computer equipment and then don't have anything to live on for the rest of the term. So don't do that. Try and develop some budgeting strategies in preparation for coming to university. You'll get all your money in one go, but it does have to last you 10 weeks usually in the first instance. We also, the other team that we have at the University of Bedfordshire is Community and Faith. Again, it's sort of explanatory, self-explanatory. It welcomes all students of all faiths, and also students who do not have a faith but would like to find out more, are interested in other people of other cultures and faiths. And again, they offer confidential personal support and also spiritual support. In conclusion, I think I hope this has reassured you that universities have a commitment to supporting you, and you're not expected to do it alone. Some of us can, some of us can't, but that doesn't mean to say that you can't succeed and achieve what you want to do in the future. And it's all I always say to students, you know, we're happy to see you and we're here to help you, but we're also happy if we don't see you, because hopefully that means that you're getting on okay and things are going well. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.